Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you more about how to network in Nairobi or in Kenya, but this video would also apply to somebody living anywhere else. Networking is just talking to people and relating to them. From that moment on, you cease to become strangers and you become acquaintances or business friends. Networking in Nairobi, I found that it's a bit more easier because people have divided themselves according to their interests. For example, we have artists being friends, we have like photographers being friends. I'm sure you've seen all these circles, and then these people usually meet later and create something epic or do something together. So another thing would be you've seen some people or some influential people with other influential people and you wonder, I wonder how these guys became friends. But really it's so simple, it's just networking. So today I'll give you simple tips on how you can network. Tip number one is to make sure you have an interest in something. It's very hard to pick an interest. For example, some people tell me, Jean, I don't have any talent. I don't think there's anything I'm blessed with. But to be honest, there's something that you don't have to be forced to do, whether it's painting, whether it's poetry. I remember when I was in campus, I used to make jewelry, and I had many friends who loved earrings, people who loved jewelry. Now that would be my circle back then. And for me, I'm someone who really has experimented in my life. I have done so much, and I've tried not to stay home during weekends or weekdays, because to be honest, I work from home, so it wouldn't make sense if over the weekend I'm still home. But then the first thing is pick an interest. So if you pick an interest, for example, I'm very interested in food and wine, and I've been able to get different contacts who love food and wine, and these people now later invite me to events. For example, I might make a friend in a wine event and I'm like, wow, I love wine, I have a wine blog, this is what I do. And if there's something else, you exchange contacts, they'll call you for another event and you'll meet other people. So it's as simple as that. But it sounds simple until you have to be now at the event and have to talk to people. So what I did when I started my wine journey, or when I started now networking with people in wine or creatives, is I would go to events alone. I used to force myself. I would be like, today I am not calling anyone. If I will stay in a corner the whole day, fine, but I will go alone. Because when you go with a friend, you're forced to sort of talk to that friend the whole day. So the thing is, you have to like sacrifice, and you have to put yourself out there, and you have to do things that you're not comfortable doing. So I would go to an event alone and carry my business cards. I know that's so weird. I used to carry my business cards. For me, I thought like I was a business card dispenser. I'm not proud of that. I used to give every person I met my business card, and even my language was too salesy, like, hey, check out my blog, blah blah blah. But then now I realize that not everyone cares about your business card. You don't have to give everyone your business card, and not every contact you meet has to give you something. Once you realize that, wow, you realize that you start getting interested in what people are telling you. You're like, so tell me what you do. My third point would be genuinely interested in people. Even though you don't care about people, just act interested. So a conversation would be like, hey, what's your name? Oh, my name is Jean. I am a wine writer, and I also help people like manage their businesses. And you know, I've already told people what I do without being too salesy. Then I'm like, oh, tell me about you, what do you do? So the person will be like, oh, I'm a filmmaker, or I'm a photographer, this is what I do. I'll be like, wow, tell me more. Tell me, photography is such an interesting field. So what kind of photography do you do? So if you're feeling too nervous to talk about yourself, listen. Tell the other person, please talk about yourself, like, please tell me more. And you see that person is actually talking about themselves, and they're actually like trusting you because you're very genuinely interested. My fourth point is, please keep your phone away. Nowadays we live in an age where we're always on our phones. Like, you're talking to someone and they're busy texting. I find that stuff so annoying. If you're at a networking event, or if you're not at an event and you don't want to talk to people, just go sit in a corner and don't talk to people. But why go up to someone and it's like, oh, hey Jean, how are you, do you mind telling me about yourself? And then when I'm explaining about myself, you're busy on your phone. Please put your phone away. Put it obviously within arm's length, because you might want to exchange contacts with this person. Another thing that I've learned is to practice your response when people ask you. Wow, obviously someone you've not met is gonna ask you, tell me what you do. So instead of wondering, oh my god, how will I phrase this, and fumbling and getting all nervous and sweaty, practice in your mirror and you're like, this is what I'm going to say. The best approach I've found that works for me and sort of intrigues people without being too proud is to tell someone, my name is so and so. Obviously you'll already have talked about your name, but you're like, I have a, or I work in, for example, if you work in advertising, I work in an advertising firm called XXX. Then the other thing is, we help people do this. So for example, always mention the value that you bring. I know it's too weird to be too salesy in the first meeting, but it can be just subtle. For example, my name is Jean. I am a wine and food writer, and I also have a digital marketing company, and we help brands and individuals position themselves to a point where they're getting more customers and they're interacting with their customers. It's called the elevator pitch. Like, meet with someone in an elevator and the elevator goes up in a minute. Tell them about yourself within that short time. So try that until the rest of the time it's gonna come second nature to you. That's a tip. My other tip is take a deep breath. Take a deep breath sometimes if you have to. Don't rush so much. For example, I love talking fast, but if you feel that you don't have the words, take a deep breath. It will really ease you. And obviously, I'm sure the other person won't mind if someone is like, oh, you're like, so that one really calms your nerves even before you walk in to people and you're like, hey guys, I heard you talking about this, blah blah blah. You see. So another time we were with a friend of mine just the other day, and we were actually at a smoky joint. We were eating smokies. Kenyans, you know what those are. So we were just having fun, and my friend had a very a printed t-shirt which had something about beer. I can't remember what it was, and this random guy came and walked to us and it's like, wow, I love your t-shirt. He made a beer pun or made a beer joke, and we laughed. And he was very sober, but he obviously knew what he was going to say before he walked to us. So if you decide, you know what, those guys look like cool people, the best I can do is just go and tell them this and this. Some people will be rude, like some people will give you that eye of, who the hell are you and why are you coming to talk to us, and they'll talk their own stories. But you know what, they'll reject you. So what? Like, that's not the end of the world. Nowadays I've started becoming so comfortable with rejection. That's a story for another day. So many stories, guys. My last tip about networking is following up. That is half the work. You meet this cool person, you exchange contacts, but because you're so proud, you can't follow up or even ask them, hey, wow, it was nice to meet you, you seem like a cool person, want to hang out soon, or something like that, or send an email if it was a business contact. Funny thing, some opportunities I've gotten, especially within my field, are because I followed up and sent that email and swallowed my pride, even though I didn't feel like calling these people and emailing them. But that's the thing. Why do you have so many business cards but you never reach out to these people? Think about, wait, it doesn't have to be immediately, but I feel like the window should be at least 1 week. You're like, wow, it was nice to meet you at the wine pairing at XX whatever, and this is my blog, or if you talked about your blog, it was nice to meet you, this is my number, I hope to chat soon or see you at the next event. And this person will revert back, and then in future, if you need them or if you want something from them, obviously we don't network so that you can get something from someone. You might even just want to be friends with this person. Following up is half the work. And if they don't, you can do the last one, the email for, this is just a follow-up on the above email. Did you get my email? It was good. And if they don't reply to that, move on. Every situation also is not the same as the other situation, so it's very hard for me to tell you this is how you do it, this is how you do it. But when you walk in a room and you see like you know no one, scan the room, but try to look for new faces, new people. In these streets of Nairobi, trust me, you meet some really nice people. I've made some really cool contacts in Nairobi. Another thing would be, now networking, you can also network on social media. Did you know that? For me, especially on Twitter. Twitter has been my biggest source of opportunities. I'm not lying to you. Every follow is not just a follow. There are people who really you can connect with on Twitter. And because they know that this chick writes about wine, or this person does photography, or this person does this, and you keep posting and keep talking to that person, one day, like, It's not just people, guys. It's not just numbers. You meet really nice people on social media. Obviously, some people are gonna be rude to you. You're gonna send them like a message or tag them in something, but they'll never respond. You don't need that negativity. If they don't talk to you, fine, at least you tried, but really try not to take things personally. Those are my tips. I really hope you enjoyed networking, and I hope to see you at the next networking event or see you somewhere. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. But networking shouldn't really be such a complicated process. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye guys.